Hey friends, it's Laura with Jot and Tittle Vintage Typewriters, and I am going to do an updated tutorial for this 1955 Smith Corona Silent Super. Here, I'll take my paper out so you can see the whole thing. I love this color. It comes in multiple colors. The Smith Corona, just your typical colors, the brown or the lighter color here. I believe this also comes in the Alpine Blue and the Seafoam Green. So, and probably even a black. But this is the typeface. Here you go. So you can take a look at that. We will do a little bit of typing on there, but just so you can see what the typeface looks like. And this one is just, this video is really just to go over how to use this in case you are new to typewriters, or you love typewriters, so you just want to see another one in action. I love the speed lines on this. This one is in really good condition, has a few chips, which is really typical for vintage typewriters. And just a reminder that when we do typewriters at Jot and Tittle, they're serviced, professionally serviced, meaning we clean them up and we get them into a working condition, but most of the time it's all the original parts and pieces. Occasionally we do replace them, but not very often. Once you start replacing and taking things apart, we don't take things apart either usually, then you start getting into refurbishing, and that is not what we do at Jot and Tittle, but we get them into a working condition. So just so you can take a look at this one, it has the flat keys. This is the same keys that are on the 5TE series, which is the small Smith Corona Electric. Love the feel of these keys. I like the white ones on them. Let me just move some things around so I can start showing you stuff. I'm going to start from the back and work my way forward. Smith Corona just makes some really good, sturdy, solid typewriters, especially if they've been well taken care of. And the Silent Super it's a little bit quieter, not totally, but it's a little bit quieter than just the general typewriters, and it has some extra keys versus just the silent. This one has the number 1. It also has the plus and equal sign over here. So these two are the extra keys. You've got your tab. You also have your your tabs, so your tabulators or your margins. You clear and set down here versus in the back. You've got your backspace and your margin release. We'll go over all of that here in just a moment. Okay, so you can open up the back if you need to, I don't know, clean it or whatever, but on some models, that's where you will find the tab settings. Your margins are right here, and you just press and drag like that, okay? I keep mine narrow only for the typewriter videos. When I'm actually typing, I set my margins based on the size of my paper. Okay, that is your paper holder. I love using it. It looks like old TV antennas. Yes, I am old enough to remember rabbit ear TV antennas with tinfoil on them, especially for Saturday morning cartoons and getting just the right signal to watch cartoons. Okay, this is your carriage, and this is what holds your paper. You move the carriage by pulling in either one of these metal levers in the back. It doesn't matter which one. They both will work. There's your bell, and the bell will ding when you get close to your right margin, letting you know, hey, you are at the end of your margin. Time for you to hit your return handle and go to the next line and the beginning of the line. So don't be afraid. Some people are really timid on hitting this, and they'll just do this, and it's like not moving. So like you're here, and they're like, no, go ahead. I mean, don't jam it, but just give it a good push, and it'll advance to the next line and take you back to your left margin. You'll see a 1, 2, and 3 here. That is your line selector. So right now it's just going to advance a single line, double line, triple line. Okay, so that is how that works. Over here on the right side, you've got your paper release. So you just pull that forward, and what that does is it releases the tension on the paper. So for example, when you load your paper, make sure it loads right behind the roller here, or it's also called the platen. Put that in, you roll it through. I like to come halfway up, and you can see it's just a little crooked, so I'm going to pull that forward, get it nice and even, re-engage it. Remember to re-engage it, and now I'm ready to go. All right. Also, on the left side, if you touch your handles here, you'll notice there's a little something that's like sticking out, and that's going to release your roller. Because when you turn the handle, you can hear it click. And that's about every half or a single space. But sometimes you want to line things up, and it's like right in between, and you can't quite get it. So pull that out for variable spacing. Put your paper exactly where you want it, press in, and there you go. I'm going to move the carriage all the way to the left because I'm going to pop open the hood on this thing. We're going to look underneath it. And one of the common areas that we see scratches and dents is right here, and it's from the handle. So that's why I say just move your carriage to the left if you're going to open up the top. When you're ready to open up the top, just put your hand here and just give it a little pull. That'll come open, and you'll see your spools in here. This uses a universal ribbon spool, and that has a 1/2-inch ribbon, 2 colors. You could put a single color in there. There are places that sell a variety of different colored ribbons. You know, have fun with it. Put whatever color you want in there, but the standard, the typical, is black and red. So black's going to go on top, red's going to go on bottom. We will have a video for you that shows you how to actually change out your ribbon. And so you can take a look at that. This is your typewriter selector. There should be a link to that down and below. This is a touch selector. So that determines how hard these type bars, these are called type bars, this whole area is your escapement area, determines how hard they strike the paper. So like, for example, my husband has a very heavy hand. I have a very light touch. And so sometimes the touch selector can be adjusted to accommodate that. Personally, I don't see any difference. You just learn to type with your little fingers. And each typewriter really has its own personality. So you have to, sometimes it'll take you a few days to really adjust to what that typewriter responds best to. And sometimes you have to work up a little muscle in your fingers, and that's just part of typewriting. If you have really petite fingers, or for a younger person, you're going to want to go with a typewriter that has a very easy touch. Look for typewriters that mention that it has for a light touch. That's why I love the Smith Corona Electric, the lightest touch, and that just works well for me. This one I can still use. I still enjoy using it, but it does take more finger effort. Okay, there's a lever here on the left side, and that reverses the direction of your ribbon. So right now it's going this way. And when you get to the end of the ribbon, it's not the end of your ink. You want to reverse that, and you just reverse it by pushing that down, and then you go the other direction. Now, you may wonder, how do you know when you're at the end? Because you can't see it. One way is sometimes it'll stop typing. It really depends on the typewriter. Other times you'll notice that it's getting really faint. Other times this will feel like it's jammed up, and you might panic going, oh my gosh, something's wrong with my typewriter. Anytime you think that, always stop typing, and change the direction of your ribbon. A lot of times that corrects the issue for you. You may hear other people say, well, it should reverse automatically. Well, it has little to do with the typewriter and mostly to do with the ribbon. Some ribbons come with a little grommet on them, which is like a little hole, metal hole or something, or clip, and that will trigger an auto reverse. Our ribbons do not have grommets on them, so you have to manually reverse them. Over here, you have your color selector. So it's a blue dot on the top, but that means black. On the bottom is the red, and in the middle is a white. That is a stencil setting. So for example, like if you have a whiteout tape that you could stick in there, and that's what you would use that for. Most people would never use that. So if somehow it gets bumped there, which does happen, and you're typing and you're like, it's like not typing, what you'll notice is your vibrator, this is your ribbon vibrator, is not going up, and that tells you, oh, hey, it's on the stencil setting. So put it firmly on red or black, and now you can type again. So basically, if you run into issues, 2 things to check: reverse your ribbon, make sure that this color selector hasn't been bumped and is on the white setting. So that is the majority. That is basically how to use your Silent Super. Oh, let me show you how to do margins. Sorry about that. So when you're typing, there's your bell. That tells you, okay, I have anywhere from 1 to maybe 5 characters left before I'm at the end of my margin. Okay, so in this case, the carriage stops, but it's still typing, but it's just typing on top of each other. And you'll learn that with your typewriters. Like I said, every typewriter is different, so you'll get to learn how it feels when it gets to the margin, if it stops, what it does. And so I need to hit margin release, finish my word, and I can go to the next line. The tab, right now it's set right here. I'm going to clear it by pressing the CL, and there we go, it's clear. Let's set one maybe right here, and I'm going to press down set. Oh, that wasn't very far. Let's try another one. Let's set it here. So we should have 2 now. Oh, what did I do? Let's try, hold on, I'm going to clear everything here. Set it. There we go. I don't know what I did, but there we go. So I set it and you clear it. Now, let's say sometimes when you get a typewriter, it has like 100 tabs on it. So the best way to do, and that's what I did there a minute ago, is hold down the clear, release the carriage, and I go back a couple of times. Really, you only need to go once, but I just do a couple times. Release it, and now all tabs should be clear. Okay, so that is how that works. Here's your backspace. Remember, backspace does not erase. You just backspace and you can type over, dash through, or whatever you want. All right, I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching. You all have a blessed day.